Hey everybody and welcome back to the channel. As always, hope you guys are having a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Now to get straight into the video, we're going over some ways to easily cut down on our spending. Because typically, regardless of how much money you make per month, because it's all different, at the end of the day, there's a threshold of how much money we can spend after all the needs are taken away, whether, you're at the stage where you're paying for, rent, car insurance, all those things you have to, I hope you have to pay first, your debt. After that's left, right? When it comes to like maybe just going out to eat or groceries and maybe some subscriptions, like we're just trying to figure out what are some ways we can cut down our spending so we're left with more money, because typically there's certain things that we can't avoid, like rent. Technically you could try to find a place that's a little bit cheaper, but again, as we mentioned before, that could be a hassle, right? But the first thing that can help you cut down on your spending, as we've mentioned plenty of times before, is creating a budget. Yes, I say it again and again. Yes, creating a budget is really useful when it comes to cutting down on spending, because, and something that I repeat all the time on this channel, is you need a what? A direction. Anyone who knows, who watches the videos, you need a direction in life. That's what a budget is, because you see, okay, I make this amount of money per month. Okay, let me split this up. Okay, I have to spend here on rent. Okay, I'm left with, let's say I make $3,000 a month, right? And I'm left with $500 left to spend, right? That's not even including savings. Like everything that I needed, which I'm not gonna lie, if you just spend $2,500, that's a lot of money. I don't know what you're spending money on, but no, actually, that's not that crazy. So you're left with $500 a month. Okay, well, I'm gonna budget this $500. I'm gonna put it here, I'm gonna put it there, etc. Right? Once you say, okay, I only have $500 to spend, you can consciously work around that. Versus when you're not budgeting at all, you're not even consciously aware that you only have $500 left. Literally, you're not going to be aware because you just, put it plainly, you don't know how much money you have. When you budget, you know how much money you have, how much money you can work with. That's very beneficial in the world of finances. A lot of times, people are just simply, again, unaware. They do not know that they're spending too much money. And then they wonder, they question why they're in the same position, right? Constantly paying off debt because you're overspending. You're not budgeting at all, right? So again, it's so important to cut down on our spending, not only to pay off things like that, but to have more money for ourselves, to put it to good use, okay? So again, create a budget, whether it's a spreadsheet, go on Excel, make a spreadsheet, whatever works for you. There's mobile apps as well. But again, it is super important to create a budget. There's different budgeting methods. Like you have the 50-30. I think it's 50-30. It's either 50-30-20 rule, I believe is what it is, right? So I think, if I'm right, actually don't quote me on it. Just look up the 50-30-20 rule, okay? Because I don't want to give the wrong information on that. I'm pretty sure 50 goes to your needs, 30 to your wants, and then 20. I mean, no. 30 to your savings, and then 20 to like things you want. But I could be wrong on that. And if I'm wrong, please correct me in the comments, all right? But anyway, seriously, create a budget. I know it may sound boring, but think about you, okay? What is more beneficial for you? Creating a budget, helping yourself spend less money, keeping more money in your pockets, or just spending money unconsciously? Again, just something to think about. To pair right along with budgeting, because again, that's letting us know, okay, I might need to cut back on here because I'm spending too much money here. Well, tracking it goes directly with the budgeting. Okay, you can have a budget, but if you're not tracking your budget, well, a budget's kind of pointless. So make sure that you're tracking your spending. That's another way to cut down on your spending, because okay, I might just be spending too much money on here. Let me cut back next month. It's really that simple. It's one of those things where you have an eye on it. You see what's going on. Okay, like we keep mentioning, you're actually conscious when you're tracking, when you're budgeting. Versus when you're not tracking, when you're not budgeting, you have no clue in the world. You see money go in your account, you see money go out, but you're not really paying attention, right? So again, after you make your budget, track your budget, right? So track your spending, meaning, let's say you get that $500 left for you. Track what are you doing with that $500. And you can cut back on certain things so that you can, again, be left with more, per se. Or say, you know what, let me put it to better use. Because maybe I'm just not putting it to good use, right? Maybe I'm spending too much money on food, and I could be putting more money into my savings, right? Again, something to think about. I'm not telling you guys you have to do this now. Again, I just want you guys to consciously put yourselves in a situation, right? Like, okay, let me actually think about this. Is this something that can work for me? Is this something that's beneficial for me? Because at the end of the day, I can't force you to do anything. Either going to take this advice and say, okay, this is good advice, I can use this, or you're going to say, no, I can't use this, I'm going to keep doing me. And at the end of the day, it's your life and not mine. So if you decide to go on your path, if it works for you, then that's great. I would never, if not budgeting actually works for you in your favor, then great. But for most people, it doesn't. Okay, so again, hey, just become consciously aware and start tracking your spending. Now, I know those first two, you're probably thinking like things to eat, but like I got that figured out. I really want to know how can I cut down though. What's some things I can cut down on? Okay, you're right. I just want to give you a little forefront, the foundation. But you're right. I should get to some things you can actually cut down on, which is one, eating out to eat. You can cut down on going out to eat. Start cooking at home. Yes, that's actually very beneficial, right? Because you have to think about it. When you cook at home, most of the time, I would suggest cooking in bulk so you can actually carry that on for the next day. But I was thinking about if you're going out to eat every single day, or maybe 5 times out the week, that's a lot of money being spent. Now, I'll give you this. You save the time aspect of it compared to cooking and cleaning. But is it worth the monetary value? Do you have the money to compensate that? Because, if you have the money to compensate going out to eat consistently, then you don't have to cut down on eating out. You don't, because you can afford that. Most of us actually cannot afford to go out to eat every day, not even 5 times a week. So again, cut down on that. Maybe instead of 5 times a week, just twice, right? On the weekends, right? Maybe on your days off, you say, you know what? Let me treat myself. Let me just go out to eat. Right, just something to think about. And something you can still do is, again, when you're cooking, I say, but I don't really know how to cook. Well, there's things called meal preps, right? And but aren't meal preps expensive? Well, you compare meal preps to going out to eat every week compared to, going to the grocery store, just buying a whole bunch of stuff that you're probably not going to eat. It's actually a lot more cost effective. You have to really think of the full picture. You just see meal plans and you think, oh, it's expensive. But typically, it's really not expensive in the long run. You have pre-planned meals that actually have good nutritional value compared to things you're probably eating already. And also, it's just one of those things where, okay, well, if I spend money out to eat 5 days a week, heck, even if it's just 4, I'd be spending like $100-something every week. All right. Now, depending on where you're going out to eat, to be fair, okay, it might not be 100, but you're definitely gonna be getting up there. Okay, seriously, just think about it. If you know anyone that spends a lot of money on food, we know how expensive that can become. Okay, even for myself, I have around a $200 budget, or I think it's 150. It may be 200. Sometimes I go over. Okay, I cut down on other things. See, it's cutting down, or you gotta sacrifice. So sometimes I may cut down on other things just so I can get more food. But it is expensive. You can't eat out consistently. And I'm the person that I might go out and buy something maybe at the max 3 times out of a week. So imagine doing it 4 to 5. Okay, again, as I've been constantly saying, something to think about is just cutting down on how often you're going out to eat. And again, start cooking at home, or even, as I mentioned, meal preps are also useful. This next one's actually an easy one. And that's cutting down the subscriptions. Yes, I know for some of you that may be hard. But think of it like this. If you're not really using something often, then why have it at all? Okay? For instance, if you have Apple Music and you barely listen to music, you listen to music every once in a while, right? You don't need Apple Music. YouTube will suffice you. I know you probably don't want to deal with the ads though. A little 30-second ad is going to be okay. Okay? That 30-second ad is not worth, I don't know how much it is now, but like $9.99 a month. Just, it's YouTube at that point. Spotify, something. I mean, it's just not worth it, right? If you're a gamer, but you're not like a super gamer, now you're a little bit more busier, right? And let's say you only get to play the game a few times a week, or a few times a month. Is it really worth having these extra subscriptions on your game? More than likely it's not, because you don't get to enjoy them anyway. So if you're someone who has subscriptions that you don't really get to enjoy them, just cut them out. And if you're at a point in time where you actually do find time, like let's say, I don't know, you're a gamer, right? But now you're out of school, you got the summer. Well, now you can get the subscription. It actually makes sense for you to keep it. Versus while you were in school, you were busy with school, you should have cut it out. You would have saved yourself a lot of money. Just something to think about, because it really is one of those things where a lot of people do keep subscriptions they don't even use anymore. And better yet, I've told you guys this before, something else you could do. If you do find yourself using subscriptions, if possible, do the annual subscription, please. If you know that you're listening to music all the time, get an annual subscription. Get the Apple Music for the full year, because you're gonna be saving more money than doing monthly. Monthly actually costs more than just buying it full. If you use Amazon all the time, get the annual subscription. If you use DoorDash all the time, you always get. I know I know we just said cut down on food, but if you're one of those people that I mentioned that can afford that, you're always buying food, and even that. I mean, I have the Dash Pass. I'm not gonna lie, because it actually I spend enough money where it actually comes in my favor. Where the amount of money that I spent, I save more than what I spent. So it works for me. But yeah, if you find yourself getting food all the time, get the annual subscription for the Dash Pass, please. But if you're on the opposite end, you don't really use it, you don't need the Dash Pass at all. Okay, let's be honest. You don't really need it at all because you only order like once a month, maybe twice. It's not really that worth it then. So again, grow conscious of the things that you're doing throughout your life. It's going to help you put you in the right direction, okay? Again, if you're someone who is not using your subscription, cut it out completely. Now, for some of you guys, you're like, I would never do this, Elijah. I would never stoop so low. Some of you guys do it, and that's great if you do it. Which is just looking for bargains, right? Like shopping smart. Like if you're somewhere, right, you're looking for clothes, go to the clearance aisle. Again, not everyone has to do this, but again, it's just a way to cut down on your spending. If you know that you don't have the most money in the world, it's okay to go to clearance. You can find some nice clothes, and if you don't find nice clothes, then maybe you can find somewhere else. But if you're in a certain location, right, this is maybe the only clothes store you got around your area. Again, don't be afraid to look at the clearance. Now, if there's just nothing that you like at all, I'm not going to force you to wear something you don't like. I'm not going to be one of those people. But again, if you just check it out, that's all I'm saying. Just check out the clearance section, see if there's anything you like. Okay, because again, that's just a little easier way to save a little bit of money. Shop for deals. If you see a sale, look for sales. It doesn't have to just be clothes, but look for sales. Look up, you can even look up when is this going to be on sale, right? When's the best time of the month that things go on sale? Again, just help yourself out, right? Make sure that you're going shopping at the right times, right? Sometimes people shop at the worst times. They just don't know them, right? But again, something to think about, okay? Just shop a little bit smart. I mean, even when you go to the grocery store, of course, you want to eat healthy and you want to eat good, right? But most people really just want to eat good. Let's be honest, okay? Let's just be honest. Most people really just want to eat good. They'll take the healthy stuff second, right? And then people complain, oh, healthy stuff is expensive, right? That's what people say. Healthy stuff is expensive. But just something to think about. We talk about long-term thinking here. Is it going to be more expensive when you get those medical bills throughout your future? I mean, that's just something to think about. Is it going to be worth it when you get all those medical bills that pile up and pile up because you ate completely unhealthy throughout your life? Again, I don't know. Only you can answer that question when you're in that situation. But anyway, it's just one of those things where people look at the name brands, right? And they say, I want this because of the name brand. That's what they're attached to. When they have this other thing, it's the same exact product, but maybe great value. And they say, I don't want great value. I can never have great value. Well, again, since most people look for what's good over what's healthy anyway, something that you could do is simply go for maybe the great value. I know, you don't want to do it. But again, just to cut down on spending, that's something you could do. And you don't have to do every little single thing. It could just be like the simple items. Like if it's oil, you don't need some super brand oil, right? I mean, some people think they might. And for health reasons, you actually might. But again, we don't typically do that here in America, so I don't want to hear that excuse anyway. Right? Or if it's just something like lotion, right? Just think of like little minuscule things that like the name brand does not really matter that much. You're going to get underwear or a t-shirt. Does the name brand really matter that much? Because I hope no one's seeing your underwear anyway. Okay? So again, something to think about. Look for the bargains. Look for the cheaper stuff, okay? I know some of y'all, again, do not want to do that. It's not one of my top choices either, if I'm being quite frankly with you guys. But again, all about becoming conscious of things and just understanding that not everything has to be some super name brand, super expensive thing for it to be able to suit us, to be able to make us happy. Okay? Again, something to think about. This next one is actually a lot easier than some of you may think, which is reducing your energy usage, right? At home, again, we've mentioned this before. If you're not in a room, turn the light off, okay? Cut down your electricity bill. Put the thermostat maybe just 1 degree lower. 1 degree is not going to kill you, okay? And we've been saying throughout this video, just something to do what? To think about. Because believe it or not, it actually will save you a good amount of money. Just 1 degree will save you a good amount of money. I just want you guys to try it. You can come back to this video. If it was complete cap, you can dislike the video. But I want you just for this whole month, I want you to look at what your bill is, okay? Look at what your bill is, and instead, of doing what you've been continuously doing, I want you to do some things, right? I want you to turn that thermostat down just 1 degree. I want you to turn the light off every time you're not in the room. That's those only 2 things I want you to do. 1 degree, turn the light off every time you're not in the room. And we'll see what your bill is, okay? And again, if I'm wrong, if it didn't save you no money, if it actually was more, again, let me know. But again, make sure that you turn the light off when you're not in the room. And again, just put it down 1 degree. And keep it down 1 degree. Alright, because again, I promise you, it will save you some money. And it's not a harm to anyone. It's not a hassle either. Just turn off the light as being what? Responsible. You're an adult. You should be responsible, right? Turn down the thermostat. Again, 1 degree is not going to kill you. You're going to be okay. And again, we're all about cutting down on our spending. Now, something that a lot of people do is buy impulsively, right? We see something, oh, I got to have it. Well, spoiler, no, you don't. We've mentioned this before, which is waiting 30 days. Now, for some of you guys may be thinking 30 days is too long. I need to have it. Okay, well, I'll give you something else. How about this? Wait a whole day. I think I got this from Dave Ramsey in his book, Smart Money, Smart Kids. I could be wrong, but I believe this is where I got this from. And it's just literally wait 1 day. One singular day. And if you really want it after that day is over, then albeit. But at least it won't be off of impulse anymore. We'll know that you truly wanted it. Or we'll know, no, I didn't really want it that much. It's okay. Better yet, I want you to do a week. I think a day may just be too. For some of y'all, y'all gonna be thinking about it all day, so it ain't gonna matter. Wait a week. Alright? If you go to a store, you can come back the next Saturday. And if you still want it, and hopefully it's still there, then go ahead and grab it. But again, stop buying impulsively. I know a lot of people that have that issue to say, I just can't, I'm just always mine. Well, you have to turn your brain on, take control, okay, because you're doing it unconsciously. I need you to watch this video and say, you know what, this man is right. I literally have a sign, something to get you out of it, because that's literally all that's happening. When we're buying impulsively, when we do anything impulsively, we're no longer in control. So regain that control, say to yourself, you know what, let me wait. Alright, a new game's about to come out. Oh, I want to pre-order. I can't wait to have this game. Maybe wait, see how the game is, see the reviews first. Some shoes come out. Okay, maybe wait, see how the shoes, and heck, it might go down. That's another thing we forget. Something brand new comes out. If we wait a few months, we can actually get it at a cheaper price. I know being patient is actually very useful. It's actually very helpful because deals are going to come. I know just specifically games. I know a lot for games. I know it might be different for other things, but specifically games. If you wait, let's say a game comes out September, you just wait till December, Christmas time. You're gonna get some deals on that game. Okay, you can get good deals on that game. So yeah, you had to wait a couple months, but waiting a couple months saves you I wasn't gonna say it's not gonna be a couple hundred. I hope the game's not 100 at all, but it's gonna save you like maybe around 20-25%, which is actually good. I know, right? Saving 20-25%. I just think it is so important that we, again, just remember to be brain conscious and say to ourselves, I don't need this right now. I can wait. And better yet, if I wait, more than likely when I come back, there's a good chance it's going to be a sale and I can get it for a cheaper price. Something that we don't take advantage of a lot, it feels like, is free resources. Now, most of these things in the world are not free. Yeah, most things in the world are just not free. Alright? Something costs something. But we forget we have things like libraries, community events, community organizations, right? Just think of all those little things. And why are we not using them? How many people, right, you like books, but you never go to the library. You're always buying books online. Again, I get the idea, well, I want the book for me. Well, that's great. But how about this? If you really want this book, go to a library, get it. You get to read it. If you really love and enjoy that book, well, then go buy it. Because then you can always go back and read it. But you can just go to the library, test this book, let it be a preview, and say, actually, no, I don't really like this book. It's a good thing I didn't buy it. It's a good thing I didn't waste my money. Alright? If there's something that you ever need some assistance, there's always community events. Well, okay, I take that back. It's not always community events. There's always some community organization around. Promise me. You just literally have to look them up. I promise you, they're out there. I know sometimes I feel like it's not because they're not as not only they're not as popularized, they're not as mediatized as much. So you do have to go out yourself sometimes and find these things, or maybe just ask someone if they know anyone who, you know, assists. I mean, there's no shame in needing help. So again, use your free resources out there. There's not too many things in the world that are still free. We still have our community events, our community organization. We still have our libraries. So again, we have to remember to take advantage. Okay, there's only so many things in this world that I take that back too. There's a lot of things you can take advantage of, but not for free. Okay, so again, something to think about. Also, before I forget, you know what else is a free resource? To an extent. But the internet, right? You can find anything you need on the internet. You got things like YouTube. Okay, so if you need to learn something, even online courses are free sometimes. So again, take advantage of those things. If you just need to learn something, look up some free courses. Look up on YouTube how to do something. Again, take advantage of these things, okay? Sometimes we use them for the wrong things. We're on the internet for the wrong reasons. Okay, we're on YouTube. I won't even say for the wrong reasons. I won't say for the wrong reasons, but we're not really helping us. Right? We're not helping yourselves. We're using it for our entertainment. We use it for actual good use. And I'll make this one short, but prioritize your spending. At the end of the day, as I mentioned earlier in the video, we can cut down on certain things, but there's certain things we just really want to enjoy, which means we have to make sacrifice. I mean, you have to prioritize what you enjoy at some times and cut down on some other things. Okay, so again, create a budget. Again, you track your spending, and you say, well, again, for my example, I really want some food, specifically from this place or that place. Well, you may have to cut down on how often you're going out to the movies or something like that, like other personal entertainment. Okay? So again, prioritize your spending so you can cut down on other things. Okay? Again, it comes full circle. But like I said, this will be a quick one, so that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. As I always say, please share the video. It is always just not only helpful for you, but helpful for others to gain this information. I think that I provide you guys with some valuable information. I hope you guys agree. Okay, and you know how you can show me that you agree? By liking the video, because that's how I know you're actually watching it. Alright, but again, it only takes 2 seconds. 1 second to like, 2 seconds to subscribe. As always, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week, and peace out.